Hello, my name is Emma, and welcome to another edition of Girl Sex 101 Book Club, a book club about sex, sexuality, gender, virginity, all of those fun topics in young adult or young adult centered literature that I run with my good pal Emma from Drinking by My Shelf. So, over the course of February and March, Emma and I read The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Damford. If you don't know what this book is about, it's a young adult novel set in Montana, rural Montana, in the early 1990s, and it follows Cameron Post. After her parents have died, Cameron begins to really delve into her sexuality, and the book follows that journey and follows her time specifically going to a quote-unquote cure center for LGBTQ youth. It's one of those conversion center schools, and it follows sort of Cameron's journey up to that point and through that experience. This book was fantastic. It's my favorite book that I've read so far for the book club, and we've read 3, and I absolutely loved it. Emma and I decided to read it over 2 months, partially because we were busy, but partially because this book is sort of, in my opinion, and I think Emma's opinion, meant to be read slowly. It's a book that you can really delve into and spend time with and snuggle up with. There's so many fantastic characters and so much interesting and beautiful and complex writing. This is some of the best young adult writing that I have seen in a really long time, and specifically the writing of character is incredibly nuanced and complex and interesting, which means that the portrayals of sex and sexuality and gender are complicated and interesting and very fully three-dimensional. Cameron is a character who is fascinating and flawed and nuanced. She's a character who struggles with her sexuality in ways that feel incredibly realistic and incredibly beautiful. I really enjoyed reading this book because of those characters and because of the way it was written. There are no good characters and there are no bad characters. Everybody's just a person, which I think is so important. And even the portrayal of the conversion center was interesting. It wasn't necessarily portrayed as this completely evil entity, although it was, spewing out so much hate and so much hatred. There was such an interesting, complex look at those people who ran it and maybe their motivations behind running it, and every person and every character who was forced to be there or chose to be at this conversion center. The Betrayal of Sexuality is really interesting and beautiful as well. I really like the way that you see Emily in different relationships, both men and women, but specifically because Cameron, Emily's the writer, because Cameron is a lesbian, and her relationships with women, every relationship she has with a woman is different, and she gains something different from it. The only sort of criticism I have about this book is that there's a lot of loose ends, and I think, in life there are a lot of loose ends, but I kind of wanted to see things wrapped up a little bit. I wanted to see some of the characters that we saw earlier in the book come back, and those ties be sort of not dealt with, but touched upon. But overall, I really love this book, and I think it's a really important book, and I think it's a really interesting book, and I adored it. So that is my little baby review of Miseducation of Cameron Post. I'm sure Emma's review will be fantastic as well, although probably better because that girl is eloquent and beautiful and wonderful, and we love her. But next month we are going to read How to Build a Girl, a novel by Caitlin Moran, and we'll probably put more details down below when we're going to read it. I'm not really sure at this very moment, but we'll definitely be reading it for the month of May, and I'm very excited about it because I read How to Be a Woman quite a long time ago, and Caitlin Moran is a very interesting person, so excited. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.